Hello, good afternoon. What time is it now? It's around 4 o'clock, 4:15. So I have an hour and 15 minutes before the bus leaves for work. So I'm sitting outside currently, as you can see, in the sun, so there's no aircon. I'm going to be sweating, but I'm going to do my makeup and try and explain exactly what I'm doing and what I'm using. I'm going to do like an eyeshadow look that I do most of the time with orange and eyeliner. Orange is usually my go-to, or like orangey toned colours, just because of my eyes are blue. But yeah, let's get on with it. The sun is directly in my eyes. If I sit back like this, it's not too bad. Just hopefully you can hear me. I will put my AirPods in once I've done my base, just I don't want to get foundation on them. But I will do that in a sec. So I'm using this palette as a mirror. This is the palette that I use. It's from W7. It's a really cheap one. Well, not too cheap actually, but it's just really, really good, and it's every single colour that you could imagine. I think I've shown this before in a video. So I'm going to use it as a mirror, so hopefully you can also still see me in shot while I'm using the mirror. So yeah, we have one show tonight, and it's at 7 o'clock. I haven't been using like a setting spray or a primer or anything recently, and my makeup stays on fine. I don't know if I've just not used a great one, or if they're literally just what's the word, like a placebo thing, like you think that your makeup lasts longer because you've got it on. So yeah, I just haven't used one in ages, but I just don't really think my skin needs it, which is good. So I'm using a couple of new things today. This one, I got a new foundation because this is my normal go-to for years and years and years, the Maybelline Superstay. Also that one is a bit too light now because I've got a little bit of a colour, a little bit of a tan. So I just wanted to get whatever was the best but also the cheapest one in the supermarket today. I went to Walmart and everything was very expensive, to be honest. I find that with brands that we have at home, like the UK brands, wherever you go abroad, they're super expensive now. But I found this one, which was $14, so like 12 or 13 pounds, and it's the Max Factor one, which I've never used before. Face Finity All Day Flawless Airbrush Finish. That was what drew me to it. Up to 30 hours of wear, which is also the same as this Maybelline one. And I got the colour W62 Warm Beige. And I tried it on my hand before, and the coverage is thick, which I like for shows. Yeah, it's not something I would want to have on like every day, but for shows it's really good. So let's see. I feel like a bit oily. It's because I've got sun cream on, so don't judge me for the way I do my makeup. Can you see how thick this is? Oh god. I spread my foundation evenly on my face, and then I just blend it in, and I use a brush. I don't use a beauty blender or anything. This is just how I do it and how I will always do it. I never really got into using beauty blenders. I'm gonna blend this in first because I don't want it to stick in certain places. Okay, it's very thick. It's a good colour match though, I think. Hello. I'm filming doing my makeup. My camera.
Can I say hello?
Yeah, of course.
Hello, fans.
I mentioned you in my vlog that I put today because it was your birthday. And I was like, we're having drinks for my birthday, but then we didn't have drinks.
Yeah. She is amazing. Follow her on Instagram. And
Thank you.
follow her on TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
Yeah.
Follow her
I
on
don't really
TikTok,
use it though.
Instagram. Like and subscribe, please.
Thank you. Listen to Jada.
Yeah, listen to me. I'm professional.
When you come back.
When I come back and you don't follow her on her YouTube channel, this is not good for you.
It's just very thick. It's kind of hard to blend, I would say. It's a really good colour match though. Happy with that because I didn't test it on my hand, but not on my face. Now I'm using the remainder of this really pale foundation just for a concealer under my eyes because I wanted to buy a nice brightening pale concealer today. Obviously, because I'm in this part of the world, El Salvador, everyone's got lovely golden dark skin, so all the concealers in the shop were like the colour of my foundation or darker. Now I'm going to put my loose powder under my eyes. I put a bit of the powder in the lid and I just use the pointed edge of the blender, the sponge. This is the only reason I use a sponge for. And I put the pointed bit like this in the shape of my eye. Bring it down a bit. Then something I've also been doing, which I think is quite helpful for eyeliner, is it's like doing a diagonal line of this powder there, so that it sets like the guide for where you'll do your eyeliner. I don't let it set too long. Oh, I'm making a mess. I don't let it set. I'm just gonna use a brush, powder brush. So I'm just gonna contour. I do that. Attractive. And then I put it on my cheekbone. Now bronzer. I have this Wet n Wild bronzer, which I got in Paris just because it was like the cheapest one I could find. It's very dark, and so I just use like literally a couple little dabs and then blend it really well. So this is, I mean, I think every dancer will say this, but like the makeup that I do for a show, I wouldn't want to go out like that. Like I do if I have to, you know, if you're going out after work or whatever. But I wouldn't, it's not something that I'd want to just wear day to day, or like even to a party or a club or whatever. It's very different, and I think that's how it should be. Something's kind of hurting my skin. I hope it's not the foundation. If that starts making me break out, I'll be annoyed because it was $15. Next, I'm using a Flormar blush, which is a blush from Turkey. This brand is really nice for blushes and for lip products. So I'm putting it mainly on like where you'd put highlighter, and a bit on my forehead there to like lift up my face a bit. I just like having colour on my face. I think that's important, especially on stage. You don't want to look white and washed out. And then I'm using this Fenty Beauty Trophy Wife highlighter, which is basically just gold glitter, like compacted. So I don't need much. I don't know if you can see. Okay, highlighter done. Okay, so I'm going to start on my eyes now. I'm going to use this colour here on my lid, which is called Carnival. It's a very, very, like a dark but bright orange, almost red. And I'm going to use this flat, dense brush. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to like pack it on to my lid so that it like kind of looks bad, and then I'll blend it out after. You've got to trust the process with your eyeshadow, I feel. Also, if you want it like pigmented and stuff, don't be afraid with colours, don't be afraid with like how much you put on, because you can always blend it out after and fix it and like shape it and stuff. Then the other orange one above it, Alter Ego, it's like a proper orange, like a sunset sky kind of orange, and big fluffy blending brush. And then I'm just going to blend it out to the shape that I want. So the blending colour is only like above the lid. And then look at the sun. I hope that's good lighting. As you can see now, where I've naturally just brushed the eyeshadow, it's not letting me go past that point of where I put the powder on. So it kind of sets the line. And then your eyeliner is in the correct position. The only thing that I probably won't do is lipstick, just because I've got a long time until the show actually starts and I want to be drinking water and stuff, but you get the gist of the lipstick anyway. Right, then I'm putting that first really bright colour underneath my lid. The sun's kind of annoying me. Okay, I'm just gonna have to deal with the sun now. It's setting, so it's low. Ooh, that's in my eye. And I'm gonna bring it like a little line underneath, just dragging that along. Yeah, I've been liking to do this recently, like do 2 lines of eyeliner or like a nice pop of colour underneath my eye. And I'm gonna use a dark orange or a dark browny orange just to put in my crease to darken up a bit. They're all basically the same colour to me, but this palette has lasted me about more than 10 years. So I'm just taking a random dark-ish brown, and then I'm gonna keep my eye open and just blend it into the crease, because I'm not a makeup artist and I'm not the best at show makeup either. It's just something I like doing. I like experimenting with stuff, with colours. There, it's darkened it up a bit, nothing too bright, nothing too crazy. But I think it's always nice to have a bit of pop of colour, like either in the middle or here like I've done. Not that, to be honest, not that like this kind of thing is actually very noticeable on stage always, like the details aren't noticeable from the audience's point of view. So I don't even have to do like this kind of thing. I think for me, as long as you've got some sort of colour on your eyelid, a wing, like some eyeliner and some eyelashes, like that's the most important. The dark one is blended now, probably not very well. I just got a new eyeliner today, but I do like also using just a black eyeshadow. If you get a really good black pigmented eyeshadow, and I use this flat brush, I don't know if that's the easiest for everyone, but once you get used to it, it's really nice to use eyeshadow because it's not as messy. But I have got a new felt one just from a dollar store here. I don't know how good it's going to be. So I'm going to start from this corner of my eye, and I'm going to draw it up so much more bold, so you can't go wrong. And I need to fill in this bit because I don't like that dip, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to drag it like kind of across, and it fills in. There is a man inside hanging around watching me, and I really need him to stop looking at me. For some reason on this eye, I do start there and drag it back, and on this one I think it's because I'm left-handed, so this eye is easier. But from this one I can start here and drag it down. Do they match? Nope. So this was not the plan of eyeliner today, which usually happens. Did not plan on going this heavy, but when I've got eyeliner, when I've got eyelashes on, all will be good. Earlier just before I start, I'm using this new Maybelline Tattoo Brow 36-hour hold. I would usually use the eyeshadow, like I said, with a little brush, but because it's new, I'm going to just use it. When I woke up early to go to breakfast, and also so I could call one of my friends in the UK. So I spoke to her, we caught up, and I then edited the video that I posted on Thursday, which was the day that I was editing it also, because I ran out of time and completely forgot. Went to the gym and I taught 2 of the girls a spin class. There's 2 bikes in the gym which are good for spinning. And then I went on the treadmill myself, I walked, and then I did some intervals like sprints. I did some back and arm exercises with a resistance band. And then when I go tonight to work, I'm going to do abs. And I usually do a little bit of toning, like when I warm up, because we don't have a gym here with weights or anything. So I just do cardio and stretch really in the hotel. When I get to work, I just focus on like toning, like every now and then. So I need lipstick on, which I'm not going to put on, but I do use the Ruby Woo matte pencil and the matte lipstick, and I will always use that. I think it's the perfect red for shows for me. Apart from eyelashes, that's it really. I'm using the Duo lash glue, but I looked in 3 even shops today, supermarkets, and they didn't have any. So, well, I did see some in the dollar store, but I just didn't think they were the nicest, so I thought, oh, they'll have some in Walmart. No, they didn't. So I might have to go back to the dollar store next week, or just try and find a drugstore and get some eyelashes, because I've got 1 pair at the circus but they're about to break. I've literally used them almost every time since I've been here, which is almost 2 months. Don't judge me, but like, if you take care of your eyelashes, you can literally wear them to death. This is the finished look. I'll show you with the eyelashes on too. And that's exactly what I do. I change colours sometimes. I do like pink or purple, or like a mixture of colours, or orange with a bit of black, like a smoky orange, or just brown. I don't really like using brown because I just think it makes me look really dull with, I don't know what it is. I just don't think I really suit them. Let's go. We're going to hide. Let's go. Okay. Here's in a different light. I really like this foundation, but I just hope it's okay for my skin. But I'm not mad about the eyeliner either. And I have to go pretty soon, but at least I'm ready for work when I get there. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did, I hope you liked it and enjoyed. Anyway, thank you. Bye. This is a new day, probably like 2 or 3 days after, but I forgot to film the bus before it. This is how we get to work. So there's this small one, and then there's one down there also. But they're very nice buses, and we're very lucky to have them, so yeah, that's how we get to work. That's the other one.
Menos me contactaron y me dijeron sí, hace parte de la familia Tihany. Bueno, hay que practicar mucho. Decimos que en la danza no podemos parar. Si paras 1 o 2 días es como